Hi, my friend, it's Pat Sloan here. So we have our second to the last, almost the last Block Wednesday for childhood memories. I'm going to give you a peek at what the next Block Wednesday will be. And we have just a repeat segment. I'm going to talk about design walls and repeat something that I did in the past, a video I did in the past. So that should be pretty fun. But before we do that, two things. Remember, I'm on travel, and so you look at your calendar to see what days the videos are. So that way you always know, and you'll be in the know, because I don't have as many videos while I'm not here. I pre-recorded even more than usual. Okay, so today is pretzel day, which I am a huge fan of pretzels. Pretzels, hard pretzels, soft pretzels, pretzels with butter on them. Oh, those are good. You know, all kinds of pretzels. So celebrate. If you have a quilt with pretzel fabric, and I know there's pretzel fabric out there, share a quilt with your pretzel fabric. And the other thing, this is exciting because I know a lot of you have done things with these. It's license plate day. So do you remember when there was that sort of state and then kind of worldwide shop hop thing that went on? And you went to each store, and a lot of them had made, most of them I think, made custom license plates that you know, license plates on fabric. So they had little custom license plates, and you could purchase them. And then they did contests where you put them all into quilts, and you did like the block they gave out and just all those kind of things. But those license plates, I would like to see what you actually did with them. So if you've made quilts with them, totes, table runners, put them on your clothing. Show what you did with those fabric license plates you collected from the different quilt shops that you shop hopped at. So this will be fun. This will be really fun today. I can't wait to see what you came up with. All right, so first let's do the current sweet childhood memories, and this is a fun one also. It is our bedtime toys. What was your favorite bedtime toy? What did you have to sleep with as a kid, or your kids slept with, your grandkids? What did you maybe play with right before you went to bed? To as a little kid, you had to maybe somebody had to play Legos just before they hopped into bed. So here's the block. And so this is going on the bottom left. So color-wise, I'm now working with, I want to do a lot of blue and peach. I think is pretty much kind of mimic that down here again. So let's go take a look at the fabric and see kind of where I am with that and what my thoughts are. For this block, there is a border on the actual block, which is similar because of this checkerboard to the sashing, some of the sashing areas of the layout. And I don't want to do this to compete or look like those. And it will be contained and color-wise for the actual block. So let's take a look at what I'm thinking of. So I went ahead and have the block already made, and this is the first border around it right here. And I wanted to keep it blue. I want to keep it blue and peach, but I did try out the red. I did this first and I cut them, which I wish I had just auditioned them, laying them like I am the peach there, but I didn't. I cut them out like this. And I thought, that's just a lot bolder than I'm thinking I want, because then what I will have is the checkerboard like this around the corner, around the outside with the blue. And the red blue does look good. It does look good. I do have to say that. It does look good, but it isn't quite, I don't know. So let's take the red off now and see. Here is peach. See, it's just got a totally different vibe with that peach. And then, okay, so then if I was going to put more of these, this, you can get an idea of what it looks like all the way around. So it would be kind of scrappy. That's what I was thinking, kind of scrappy like this. Then what happened though is I cut these two first, and I cut like 5 of them. And I thought, well, let me just try 2 and see how they look, because maybe I would like that better. So let me see, what did I what did I do? So take those off. So what if it was just 2 fabrics out here? And this I like. I like it because it just feels calmer. There. So just be like alternating, and I like it alternating with that stripe. I think if you didn't have enough of like a stripe kind of fabric, you could do one like that, because it gives that same feel. Whoops, oh, that's a problem. I'm like, what is wrong there? What is wrong? Okay, there we go. So, so I think anything that gives that a high enough contrast versus like this one, where they really don't separate as well. So it needs something that really does that separating. That one probably would too, but I like it. I like the stripe. I like the stripe. So this is what I'm going to go with. I'm going to go ahead and cut all those, and I'll meet you on the other side. This is so soft and pretty. Look here. Look at that. And you know, I give you the, ooh, here it is. So I did the bonus layout. And on this one, I did put sashing, because that way it could separate like all this framing. I mean, you could use up so many of your 2.5-inch squares with this. This is an excellent project for that. If you are looking for one, yeah, make another quilt like today. Okay, let's, all right, let me put it down here. So where's the layout? I think, do I have sashing above that? Oh, sometimes. Okay, I've got the little layout. No, this goes right up. This goes right up here. So there isn't anything. So it is going right up against your top block. So that means you do want to think about your fabrics. So they're going to go right up there. And then on the side, there actually will be a little bit spacer between those guys. So I'll do a green strip between there, and I'll be able to sew that section together. So you can see on the layout, which you have been able to download for many weeks now. So hopefully you've been working on your layout. And then we'll just have next week, after I come back, that one, number 18. And then I will also then have to finish the border after doing number 18, because I won't be getting much other border sewn. I've got them all sewn into 2s, but you know, they still have a little bit of work, but not too much. That'll be good. So we'll have another week of that, I think, sewing the borders. Okay, I think the design wall, which you know I have used for many years, is such a mandatory tool for a quilter. And many people have asked me, you know, about my design wall. So I thought for this week I would grab a video out that I had done before, grab that clip of it, just the design wall part, and run it again today. So let's take a look. I am going to focus first on design walls. We've had a lot of discussion and a lot of questions over many years about, you know, what to use for a design wall. And so I thought I'd just give you a little tip. A few people had shared some of their design walls in my community. So I'll link you down below in the description box over there. And while you're there, click the subscribe button so that you can keep up on all the fun things. So I built this design wall, which I'll scroll up. This is actually 2 units, and I'm going to describe how they were made. And I have had them in different places. My studio has been in different places in my house, and I've had them in different spots for about 35 years. So they're the exact same ones, and now they're bolted to the wall. But prior to that, they were freestanding. So what they are is insulation boards. So if you look here on this unit, goes all the way over to the other side. It's, you know, as long as if you stood it up as your regular wall, and there's 2 of them, one here and one here, and there is a seam right in the middle. So I'll scroll you in there, and you can see that seam. So there's actually 2 boards, board 1 and board 2. The boards are, I don't know what their formal name is. I just call them insulation boards for the walls of your home. So if you go to a home center and just ask for that, so you can push, they're like styrofoamy, so you can push a pin into them. So that's what I can do. I can take pins and push them in here, and it's fabulous. But because I wrapped it with flannel, the flannel will hold the quilt blocks without any pins. for the most part, unless I have a big block or just sometimes it's funky and it won't stay up. But for the most part, I don't need to pin most of the things up. I can just stick them up on the flannel. So how did I get the flannel on there? You know, this is really, really simple. So don't overthink it. Don't try to make it harder than it is. So pretend this is wallboard. This is not wallboard, but pretend it is. It's a piece of poster board for the design boards that have, you know, fleece on one side. But here is the, you know, so this would be tall. It'd be long like this, and it would be wide. I think they're like 6 feet wide or something. No, they're not 6 feet wide because I'm not 6 feet, but what are they, about 4 feet wide? Maybe those are, but these were made long ago, so they could be different widths now. So you would take the wallboard and you would take a spray glue, you know, you would spray glue it probably in sections since they're so long, you know, you want to make it smooth and flat. Then you would just take some nice quality flannel. Don't go buy in the really cheap flannel. You know, for once, buy something that's not cheap. Buy some nice flannel. And you could buy, I bought mine in like an off-white or a natural. Some people like to buy it in gray. And then you're just going to be taking the flannel so that it's, you know, has edges. You don't want it, you need to be wrapping it. It's going to be wrapping around. So just like a package, you'll have this extra that you'll wrap behind it like that. And not much. I don't have a whole lot wrapped around it. Like I will pop a picture up, but down at the bottom there, because of this room, we had to cut an edge in it for the plug. We could have moved the plug, that would have been our other option, but we decided to just cut around the plug. And so I'll pop a picture up. Once you have spray, you know, glued your flannel and just let it dry, whatever the recommended time is, and then it's done. You could, you know, where it's wrapped around to the back that little bit, you could spray glue that part too to hold it around the back, particularly if you're not going to bolt it to the wall. Because the interesting thing about these is they're very light. And so you can pick them up and move them around. And when I first had it, I had a room with bookshelves. And so I just propped them in front of the bookshelf. So whenever I needed to get into there to get, or there was fabric behind one of the bookshelves, fabric and books. So I would just move the design board, and you know, it worked really, really well. If down below those two links, our friend Dana shows them as she's working with them in her studio. So she's trying to figure out a size, but there you can see them sort of standing this way versus mine that are bolted to the wall. Mine are bolted to the wall because I don't have any space for a bookcase here. It was just going to be too tight for everything. I just don't have a lot of space in this room, so this is what I have. Even my other cabinets kind of take away the space, but it's plenty. It works really well. I do almost all my things can work on there just fine. So that is the way you get a design board. And I highly recommend trying just the wrapping on the installation board and using it to move it around in your space without bolting it to the wall first. Just try it. The supplies don't cost that much, so it's worth a go so that you have a way to visually see your blocks up on the wall, which helps so much in everything you're doing. I hope you give it a try. I hope you find a way, because you do not have to mount it to the wall. I mean, you can just lean them up against something, and then they're lightweight. Yeah, it's perfect. Okay, I want to show you a peek at what our next Block Wednesday is, the pattern that we'll be using. We're going to do that on the other side. Drum roll, the next Block Wednesday, this is what it's going to be. We're going to sew from the Free Fat Quarter Shop triangle quilt, and I'm going to just change it up just a tiny little bit into what we're doing for each week, and I'm going to give you a little bit of extra stuff to go along with it. So this is going to be, I'm going to call it Festivals and Fireworks, so that I will have a sheet each week which will have a theme of county fairs, festivals, that kind of a stuff. What goes on, like the food that's at a festival, maybe having like the enter your quilts in the county fair, that kind of thing. So, but this one was set up to be 6 weeks, right? Like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Only, yeah, 6 weeks of blocks. But we're going to spread that out a little bit, so you can see. Now I don't have a project page yet, but it will be up there very soon when I get back. But you can see I drew a line between where there was 2 types of blocks on this row and this row and this row, these 3 weeks. I'm going to have just one of the blocks for that week. And that'll just be easier. And in the summer, we don't want to have to rush to do 2, you know, because I think you make 2 of each block anyway. So, you know, that's plenty for summer sewing. So it takes us to like 10 weeks starting. I forget what day it's starting. I will put the date up. The perils of not writing everything down. So it will be called Festivals and Fireworks. And I will also, now this is written to use the triangles on the roll. So the Fat Quarter Shop owns this company now. They purchased the company, I don't know, a year or so ago when it was for sale. And so they now produce triangles on a roll. So they wrote this to showcase them. And so if you love these or if one have always wanted to try them, this is what the deal is. Now, they are running this right now on their YouTube, so you can search for it if you want to see them in action. Or I believe if you just go to the triangles on the roll, there's probably some videos that show you how they're done. But they're foundation. They're foundations. You'll tear the paper off afterwards. I'm going to also give you cutting directions without this, regular cutting directions, and I will give you the die number for your die cut machine. So during this, I will show the triangles on the roll, I will show regular cutting, and I will show the die cut. One of those for each week, not each time, that's craziness. It's supposed to be fun. So I will just demo, you know, 1 week this, 1 week that, 1 week the next thing. And then you'll have seen it all right in the beginning. Probably I will do, you know, maybe the first day I'll show all 3 and then I'll demo again, something like that. I haven't quite figured it out. Anyway, I'm rambling. You can download this and know what your supply list is and all of that. And if you're going to use these, it will tell you what you need. I am going to use my porch swing fabric. So this is the fabric that I'm going to use, the porch swing. So it is, you know, my current fabric, and I just think it is so fun. The one deal is that everybody bought all of the background white. It should be back in right at the end of May, beginning of June will be more of this fabric. So if you are purchasing but don't want to wait for that, you can use my Promise Me, the white in my Promise Me, or some other white fabric. But this is, I believe it is, yeah, it's a fat quarter bundle. So, you know, basically a fat quarter bundle, and you can get my porch swing. And so with me on that, super cool, super fun. All right, let's go wrap it up on the other side. That is going to be a very fun summer sew because it'll be nice and easy. You'll have some variety. You could actually try, if you have a die cut machine, you could try all 3 methods of the papers without and the die cut and just see what the differences are. So, I mean, that would be really fun to do as well. I know Kendall is going to be, our Ambassador Kendall on his channel will be doing videos, and he might be giving you some tips to do things some different ways. So you want to check those out as well when we're doing the festivals and fireworks this summer. Okay, my friend, I love you. Make your block today and tell me about your bedtime toy. Thank you for being here in the Sloan Zone. Mwah. I will see you online.